What's the faith of our Lord and NASA space technology got in common? Can you guess? Has anybody got any ideas? Hi guys, this is Rob from the Exit Light channel, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Shroud of Turin. The Shroud of Turin. And if you don't know what that is, Google it. It's very interesting. If you're Catholic, like me, you'll know. But before we kick off, housekeeping. Hit a like the kids say, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to this wonderful channel. It helps Tracy out, and let's kick on with a video. Okay, the Shroud of Turin. The shroud shows a body of a man almost 6 foot tall. Medieval evidence reveals that one shoulder is dislocated and rigor mortis is present. The technology also shows for the first time the presence of 2 coins placed on each eye at burial to keep them closed. One of the coins has got Greek lettering on it, which has got part of the name of Tiberius Caesar in Greek, and the coins were minted by Pontius Pilate in 29 to 30 AD. So what's this video about? Basically, the video is about, and where NASA comes into this scenario. Basically, the shroud was in a fire a long time ago, in Middle Ages, medieval times, I should say, and it was repaired. It was done what they called an invisible repair, and you can still see little bits of burnt area on the shroud. The shroud is kept in Truro Cathedral. That's why it's called the Shroud of Turin. And basically it looks like a negative. If you can imagine a negative photograph of someone who there's areas on the hands and the feet and the head where there is blood present. They proved that it hasn't been painted, because basically people were saying it's medieval because they carbon 14 tested it, carbon 14 dated it. I'm not really sure of the process, the name of the process. Carbon 14, and it was proved to be medieval, so it wasn't 2,000 and odd years old. So people thought it was a fake. But what has come to light now, they carbon 14 tested the areas. We're talking they took fibres. They didn't take a huge piece, they took fibres. The fibres that they took were from the areas that had been repaired. So when they carbon 14 tested them, it came back that it was medieval. Now they've tested some other parts of the shroud, the linen sheet, and that has come back as being of the right age. Now, like I mentioned before, they proved that it wasn't a painting. It hasn't been painted on. They don't know how they've produced this image. The only way the way people think it could have happened is an extreme heat or an extreme light obviously in a dark tomb. Now, if you're a Catholic or Christian, if you're a Christian, not just a Catholic, because Catholic's a Christian, when Jesus was placed into the tomb, he went down into hell for them 3 days before he was resurrected. So his body disappeared. So the Christians believe that the extreme light or the extreme heat was when Jesus' body disappeared from the tomb. And by doing that, it left an imprint on the sheet of his body. And then on the third day, he rose again. I'm not going to go into all, I don't want to make this a theological video. That's pretty much the order of service, what happened. So with the NASA space technology, what they've been able to do basically, and I've sent some photos through to Tracy, we have got an image now of what Jesus looked like, or what Jesus would have looked like at the time. And I think it's really, really interesting. I was going to do a video about sort of the conspiracy side of it, but it was down a rabbit hole, and I've actually done a lecture. There's so much has been written about this piece of material. But as a Catholic, I believe that it is the burial cloth of our Lord Jesus Christ. Have a look at the photograph, see what you think. If you are interested and you didn't know anything about it, I've just seen something. No paint or pigment can be found on the fibres of the shroud. The blood stains are group AB. So yeah, so he was AB negative, and yeah, like I was saying, if you're interested and you've not heard about it, have a Google, because it is very, very interesting, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. There are a lot of Christians that don't believe that it's anything to do with Jesus and it's a fake and it's a forgery. I have never felt that at all. I think it's just, and it's taken 2,000 years for us to get to the point now we've got the technology, with the help of NASA, to be able to use a micro condenser meter, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce that properly, that's been able to properly carbon date this and give us a proper actual picture of the face of Christ. And yeah, I think it's amazing. Anyway, I hope you've liked my little video. Google it, guys. I'd be interested to hear about what you've got to say in the comments. Would be nice. Please be kind, because there are people that maybe is going to comment that are Christian and do believe it's true. You know, keep your comments nice and civil. Obviously, you can disagree. You can disagree in a nice way. Don't have to be nasty about your comments or anything like that. Be civil, and let's have a discussion. Anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back soon. So you take care. God bless, and I'll see you soon.